Hey, it's Mazzy. Whack-A-Mole number 102. Now, those of you who are new to the channel might have seen about a month ago, a little over a month ago, the 100th anniversary Whack-A-Mole with guests. And you probably may be also, you might have seen the 101st Whack-A-Mole with the long cut, Chris Campbell, who visited here. Check those out. But those of you who've been watching a long time, this is back to the essence, to the original Whack-A-Mole, where I randomly pick 5 albums and talk about it. That's the whole crux of it. If you think Whack-A-Mole is just hanging out, drinking with friends, that's a variation, and that's usually few and far between, but it's been a long time since I've done one of these 5 grabs. So I'm going to do that now, and again, I just randomly pick. Now this time I do have, since I've been doing those, I have 2 rows of records here. It goes from S to Z plus some world music records at the end. So I probably pick at least one from this section. I know you can't see that, but trust me, I don't set this up. These are actually just random pulls for my collection, and I'll share something I know about these records, or just either a personal attachment story, or historical, or otherwise. So welcome to Mazzy's Whack-A-Mole number 102. One. Two. Okay, pick one. I don't know what that is. 3. 4. How about some jazz here? There's a jazz right over here. And 5. This is going to be 5. 5. Okay. Talking Heads 77, the debut album on Sire Records, an original copy that I got when this came out in 1977 on Sire Records. Interesting story, I saw them on their first tour to the West Coast. They played a small club called the Boarding House on Bush Street in San Francisco, which was a cool, clued venue. I could do a whole story on just acts I saw there. Not a big club. If it held 200, probably not even that, 100 people? I don't even know. Bar, table, kind of sitting thing. They bring cocktails to your table. And when you walked in the door from the front bar, which was on the right, you walk in, there's like a box over the door, and to the left, a riser with a lighting guy on it with a follow spot. And right when they were playing, it was great. Well, it wasn't, luckily no one got hurt, but right in the middle of them playing Psycho Killer, the follow spot slipped off the stage and crashed to the ground. The fabulous Talking Heads, Psycho Killer, Talking Heads 77, Sire Records. Seymour Stein's label. Okay. Neutral Milk Honey. I didn't get into these guys till about 8 or 9 years ago. This is part of that group, and I forget the name of it. You guys are not, okay, this is, I'm going to admit, I don't remember that name of that. There's sort of a collective that put out records. Jeff Mangum, produced by Robert Schneider. This is, this is like an indie, post-punk, psychedelic, quirky art rock band. Now, that's probably not the official term of this, but I got turned on to this by a friend of my friend, The Archive. We were having dinner one night in San Francisco, and he said, have you heard this album by Neutral Milk Honey, Aerial Plane? In the Airplane Over the Sea. Okay, that's the full name, and I hadn't heard it, and I listened to it, and then I went out and got the album soon after that. So That's all I can tell you about it. I'm sure there are more folks watching, many more folks that know all the details and the dark, dirty secrets of this band and why they didn't really follow it up. So there you go. Next, number 3, Elton John, Madman Across the Water. This is a great record. Of course, Tiny Dancer. My favorite song on this album is Leave On. Leave On is his anthem, but I just love the lyrics to it. There's a lyric on here that just at the time, I remember when this came out, this is like 74, I believe. And it goes, he was born a pauper to a pawn on a Christmas day when the New York Times said God is dead and war's begun. Alan Tostig had a son today and he shall be leave on. You know, Bernie Taupin's got to get his due, because what an amazing lyricist. And it's really amazing how seamlessly they blended all this together. And I just love that. And I just love on here that there's a wonderful picture of the two of them in the book that came with this record. This was a great record. Holiday Sun, Indian Sunset, Holiday Inn, I'm sorry. Madman Across the Water, long piece, but fantastic record. Elton John's first records, well, from his self-titled 1970 with Your Song, even Empty Sky before that. I quite like the soundtrack of Friends, which is side 2 is all instrumental orchestration by Paul Master, who did the orchestration on a lot of these early albums. Fantastic record. The one where I go off, except for 1 or 2 songs, I can't stand Blue Moves. After that, it's all downhill for me. But Elton John, iconic, artist. And okay, this is the thick one, Dire Straits. This is the Mo5 version of their debut album. I remember getting this when it came out. I think it was 78. I got an original promo copy from Warner Brothers when I was in the biz. And they were so different at the time. They were kind of, they came about during that new wave period and they got pegged into that, but they were nothing like that. They were really different, really great arrangements. Of course, the Knopfler brothers, Tempestuous brothers again. What's with those friggin' brothers, The Davis brothers and the Kinks, the Wanker brothers and Oasis, the Everly brothers can't get along most of the time. But this is to me by far their best album. I know everyone likes Over Gold and the big digital album that came about of age in the CD era. Money for Nothing and Chicks for Free, all that. That's really a great song. But Down to the Waterline, Water of Love. Down to the Waterline, Water of Love. I didn't realize 2 back-to-back Water songs. Six Blade Night, but Sultans of Swing, that guitar riff sounded like nothing else. And this is the fabulous double 45 Mo5 version, which is amazing. But the original, if you get original clean Warner Brothers, which I still have, it's no slouch. It sounds fantastic. You don't necessarily need this unless it's a very favorite album of yours. And this is by far my favorite album by Dire Straits. And lastly, this is a good one. Lambert, Hendrickson, Ross, Sing Ellington. Lambert, Hendrickson, Ross, great vocal pop group. John Hendricks, who was this great arranger and singer. He is right here. An incredible singer. Annie Ross and and Lambert. I forgot his first name. Sorry, Lambert. We'll phone you. Ringy dingy. Great vocal harmonies, 3-part harmonies, very boppy jazz stuff. In fact, if you know the song, if you haven't heard them or know of them, you've heard Joni Mitchell's song that she does on Cord and Spark called Twisted. That's a cover of a song that they originally recorded. Lambert, Hendrickson, Ross, and Annie Ross sings the main vocal on Twisted. Also, if you know the song that Weather Report did, Heavy Weather, Birdland, great instrumental. I think it's a Joe Zawinul wrote that song originally. John Hendricks wrote a lyrical version for it, and Manhattan Transfer. Manhattan Transfer is basically sort of emulates the, in the 70s, they started in the late 70s, mid 70s. They really sort of recreated and brought back the sound of this vocal pop jazz. Amazing kind of, almost like beatnik type stuff on here. This has Rocks My Bed main stem, I Don't Know What Kind of Blues I Got, Things Ain't What They Used to Be, Midnight Indigo, Caravan, great Ellington song, which was covered by so many people. Amongst my favorite versions of Caravan is by Dizzy Gillespie. So Lambert, Hendrickson, and Ross sings Ellington on Columbia Records. Anything you see of them, you should get. If you can hear that in the background, that wild avant-garde out there jazz, that's Lounge Lizards, John Lurie. You might know Fishing with John Lurie. You might know his artwork, but he was a member of the Lounge Lizards. He was an actor in Stranger Than Paradise and Down by Law and those things. So here we go. That's a quick Whack-A-Mole number 102. Thank you for watching. Put your comments in here and subscribe, please. And just enjoy life and have fun. Mazzy loves you.